Hey everyone, and welcome to Butu Inc. Gaming. I am Manly Van Lee, and this is another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. On today's video, we'll be taking a look at my new secondary account, which after a few days of intense polling, you, the fans, have decided which one of my 3 paths, which I outlined in my Hyperdrive Bundle videos, that I should take, and it is an exciting episode for that very reason. I'm going to set up my main team as well as my secondary team. I'll go through mods, fight a squad arena battle with that team, and then finally we'll go through and work on my fleet, so I will get my ship set up and ready to win in some fleet arena battles. So let's not put it off, let's dive right into it. We have an awful lot to do today, and the reason being is I just realized I can actually get in on this round of Grand Arena Championships. So I kind of want to get a couple of teams up and ready to the point that I'll have a little bit of something. Now, I'm coming in 2 weeks in, so there's 2 weeks left in this championship. So I'm probably not going to be facing really good teams, but we'll see. I've never done this with a Hyperdrive bundle, so I don't know where I'm going to be. And the winner of the poll, which we released, is actually the Prequel Trilogy. Hooray! This is the third option that I went over in the video, and it's probably the best option to overall, because I believe it'll get you up and running quickly. You'll have a really good raid team. You'll have a pretty good fleet if you get it going quickly enough. And you'll be headed towards General Anakin Skywalker, which will be, I think, probably the easiest to get of the truly elite characters, because he's obviously not as good as a Galactic Legend, but close, because you can beat some Galactic Legend comps. But he's far better than Jedi Knight Revan, for example. I would say he's better, of course, than Darth Revan and Malak, which is a bit of a farm unto itself, because you have to get all of the Jedi Knight Revan characters and all of the Darth Revan characters up to a pretty high gear level to unlock Malak. So let's start working on this. I essentially outlined in my Hyperdrive Bundle video that the 2 key teams that we'll be working on are clones and Jedi. Now, clones are going to be weighted a little bit more for me because I think they're the better overall team, though the Jedi squad will be able to assemble and have assembled, because I've been doing my squad arena battles with them, is already pretty good. So it doesn't need a ton of work, though essentially that group is going to branch off into a Padme squad when we get to that point. Now, to get a Padme squad, I need 5 separatists that can win the Padme event. And the easiest way to do that is essentially with Geonosians. That's a couple of long farms, particularly for Hyperdrive Bundle people, because none of them came via the Hyperdrive. So that's like my third focus is going to be Separatists / Geos, and I'm largely going to be focusing on the Geos. Now, the good news with that is you don't necessarily have to have a full Geo squad to be able to do it. Newt Gunray is a great lead for the Padme event, and he's a super easy farm. He's in the Squad Arena store. But we do have other characters to focus on there. Let's just get right into it. Let's take a look at the characters and start bumping them up.
Many hours later.
So there we go. We got the 5 clones pretty much up to where I want them to be. Well, I should say, I got my A team up to where I pretty much want it to be. Fives is now gear level 9, Ahsoka's gear level 11, Rex is gear 8 still, or do you get to 9? 8. And then Echo, I got to gear 9 as well. So they're ready to do some damage. So why don't we actually just do a squad arena battle with that team so we can kind of see it in action. Oh, look, see, here we go. We finally found someone with the, I'm assuming, Hyperdrive Bundle. What a weird team that is, but let's do it. Let's fight them. Let's clear them out. So we're going to build our team here. We've got Rex lead. We're going to go Ahsoka, Echo, Sarge, and this is important. This is a coding flaw. I'm not a programmer, so I don't know if that's the proper way to say that, but essentially, Fives' sacrifice ability has a bit of a quirk to it. If I have Fives, say, here in the second slot, and my opponents use an AoE, area of effect attack, which wipes out both Rex and Echo, Fives will resurrect Rex, but he will not echo because I guess it goes sequentially down who's in what spot in the lineup. So instead, if we move him down to the 5th spot, now we have an AoE attack that kills Rex and Echo. Fives is going to sacrifice and revive them both. So you always want to put Fives not just in the 5th spot, in the lowest spot you can make. Because, for example, if we have a 3 versus 3 team battle, we're going to want to do it that way. Because the same thing will happen if we had, Fives in the 2nd slot and Echo here. AoE takes him out, Fives is only going to resurrect Rex. But if we have a 3 versus 3 battle, you go ahead and put Fives in the last spot, which happens to be the 3rd spot here, and it'll work properly. It's not the worst thing in the world, but better safe than sorry. Always put Fives in your last spot in the lineup. Okay, let's do this. It's just such a weird team. So Baze is a pain in the ass. He has a bit of a healing mechanic. Well, to be honest, I don't know the true mechanics of it. I don't really know a whole lot about Rogue One. It might be Chirrut that does that, and you generally have to have the two together because separate, I don't think it really works. Either way, I'm going to wipe out Baze here. Do our AoE. Do our special. Let's go ahead and get Taunt up on Fives. We'll call Echo. Now, see, Echo is going to deal double damage because Fives has Taunt. Fives is going to have double defense because he has Taunt. So again, that Omega is important. Let's form up here. Take away some turn meter. Let's take out Vader. I don't like those damage over times going off here. And see, we lost taunts. Let's go ahead and bring it back up. We'll take out Ahsoka here. We're about to the fun part of the fight. You'll see in a second. Okay, so now this is where having Ahsoka in this team really pays off. I've got a couple of guys hurt here. I can heal up their health because she's in the lineup. If I had Cody here, there would be no healing. So this is a little bit of a boost. And I get protection up, which helps too. Okay, so Rex has his Annihilate ability ready. What's it called? Aerial Advantage, not Annihilate. So at this point in the battle, I'm obviously going to win, but I really want to utilize this as best I can. Old Ben here is a tank. It's going to be the hardest to kill, but watch this. Let's put it on 1 speed. Boom, gone. Did an extra 78,000 damage because the ability does the, 25% max health damage per turn taken by a clone trooper. Now, ideally, if I had 4 other clone troopers other than Rex, that's going to boost up quicker. It's fine if you have 1 slot as someone else. Honestly, it's fine if you have just 2 slots in certain team comps. And in fact, in the Heroic Sith raid, I've been doing that lately in part 1, using a team with General Skywalker, Rex, Fives, and then C-3PO and Grandmaster Yoda. But let's finish this out. And not much left here. There we go. We won. So this is a really good team. Now what you probably noticed there was that they're just real squishy. And essentially, it's real easy to kill this team early on, particularly before G12. So I really want to get those guys boosted up as quickly as possible. But most important of all is getting Fives boosted up because he will share his stats. And you can see here the rest are all level 41. So as I continue jumping through the ranks here, I'm at 416. I should be able to get pretty high up until I see a lot of Journey Guide people. And there's a Revan. Yeah, there's a clone. So honestly, probably top 50's full of them. Ooh, there's a Shock T. A 2-star. They must have gotten that via a Chromium pack. Oh, wow. So here's a 50. I might be able to get into the top 50 quickly. I wondered how that worked with the creation of new shards and the Hyperdrive Bundle, how many people bought it, and so on and so forth. This is, I mean, look, $100 is hard to drop on a mobile game, but it's going to set you up in good shape for a while. In this game, it's a case of the rich stay rich. If you spend a buttload of money on Darth Revan and Darth Malak when they first came out, even though we're several metas past that, you can probably still remain top 50, maybe even top 20 easily with that squad. So you're still earning a ton of crystals just from that investment. So it's worth it in the regard of you will succeed early on. Here's a Geo team. This is interesting. He already has 7-star Brood Alpha. He must have spent some bank on that, which is ironic because he doesn't have the fleets up and running yet either. Okay, before we get into actually spending my energy here and looking at where I can spend crystals and so on and so forth, let's start working on my secondary team, which is of course going to be Jedi, as I mentioned in the video. Now, if you decide to take this path, I think you can go either team as your 1A and your 1B. Doesn't really matter. I think clones are better overall in the long run, so I'm going to go with them. Jedi is an interesting squad, though. I'm going to be taking Ahsoka pretty much out of this one because I'll be putting her in with the clones, but that's okay. I have been given a ton of Jedi, so I'll be able to work with this a little bit.
2 hours later.
Let's take a look at some mods first. Now, mods are going to be the one thing that really kind of bites you in the ass if you're a Hyperdrive Bundle player, because you don't really have any. And it takes a while to get a good batch of mods up. Now, what I did was I would do my daily activities where you had to do 3 mod battles. So I unlocked tier 3 of the health mods. So I have a handful of them in my inventory, as you can see. There will come a time when you just utilize 5 mods, and hopefully that time is as soon as possible. But because we've just got 8 million currency left, and I need a lot of mods, I might be utilizing these low dot mods for a little while. So at this point, I'm not going to be farming low dot mods, but if I receive them, I'll probably utilize them. Now, each type of mod is very important. You want to have a good collection of all of these, of health, defense, crit damage, crit chance, potency, speed, all of them. You want a huge collection if you can. But because we're starting from 0 and I need a lot of mods, I'm going to focus on 2 types, and that's going to be health and speed. And essentially, I'm going to do this because you'll always have a need for health mods. They go all over the place. Now, you do receive a lot of health mods via some different events, but you need a lot of mods. So that will be primarily what I deal with here. So let's go right in. I've unlocked the 3rd tier, which is where you can receive 5-star mods or higher. Now, the beauty of us doing this today is it's double drops on mods, so I can really blow through this. So there we go. Let's just use 20 energy and see what happens. 20 attempts. It's a pretty good mix so far. Usually you don't get a whole lot other than just gray mods, but wow, that's a big mix.
Later, in the void.
Let's get into Yoda. Let's unlock him, upgrade him a little bit, and then we'll be able to set our lineup. Ooh. So let's go to the event. So this is one of the easiest events in the game. It was one of the first ones, if not the first one, like I said. So honestly, I might be able to unlock all the way up to tier 5, which would be for the 5 stars that I have without any mods on my team. So let's give it a shot. Much to learn you have. Much to learn you have. Up on ketamine I am. Crashed my Honda Civic I have. I don't do a good Yoda, but you get the idea. And done. There we go. 1 star. Nailed it. The other good news is you'll get some credits and, well, some crystals too. So I'll be able to upgrade him despite the fact that I've spent a lot of my credits on mods. I thought it said Grand Dragon for a little bit. I was like, Yoda, come on. As you can see, I barely even paid attention to this. There we go. We'll do a special, so I might not have the ability up. Usually if you dispel, you get offense up with Qui-Gon. Let's do this again. There we go. We won. We have unlocked Grandmaster Yoda, who is, despite being one of the first characters or legendary characters introduced in the game, is a really good character. Now, I think they did a rework on him, but I'm not sure. It happened either right as I started playing or right before. So either way, he's a very good character, and he will last for quite some time as a good character. And there we go, 5-star Grandmaster Yoda. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess I would have to level him up. The other characters start at, of course, level 80, so it didn't cost a whole lot to level him up. Whereas with Yoda, it'll take me, I think, 7 million-ish to get him up there. So I will not be leveling him up yet. So never mind. We're not going to use Yoda for this Grand Arena Championships, but I now have him, and I can work on upgrading his stats. And essentially then, if I did that, my team, my secondary team is going to be Bastila lead, definitely Anakin, Yoda, and then probably Obi-Wan, and I could do Mace, just because Mace is already going to be leveled up in this regard, and I'll probably level up his abilities a bit too, just again because of his capital ship. So that'll be my B team with the Jedi here. In the meantime, I can use whoever else is available at my disposal. Okay, real quick before I go ahead and jump into Grand Arena, I'm going to talk about who I'm going to farm and from where. I basically spent some time today, as you can see, just writing notes and notes and notes about who I can farm and what the most efficient manner of doing so would be. So a couple of different things. Number one, I'm going to weigh the clones a little bit more. These 4 plus ARC Trooper are going to be who I really go hard after, because I want that. That's my A team. I want them 7 stars as fast as possible. Then the next step down, it's not going to be Jedi. It's going to be my fleet, because I haven't even done that, but I need to get my ships up to par, and there are a few that I need to farm to make that fleet at least semi-competitive. And then finally, the next step down will be Jedi. And then from there, like I mentioned in the Hyperdrive Bundle video, Separatists are going to be important. I totally forgot about ships, so we need to go ahead and get our fleet set up, because I've been kind of skating by with just what they gave you, and I've done well. I think I finished 13th in Fleet Arena last night, but we can really push. Yeah, I've fallen to 22nd. I have 95,000. I haven't done anything. Actually, that's 15,000 higher than it was last night, because I put gear and stuff into the characters. So once again, we're working on Galactic Republic, so let's get them all favorited here. Key ones, we're going to have the Y-Wing I'm going to work on, 5s, Ahsoka, Clone Sergeant, not you, no, later, and then Anakin. So those are going to be the big ones. I wouldn't mind having Rex and Flo's ships, but those are both a little bit more tricky to farm, particularly Rex's ship, and we're going to start with what we have and go from there. And I'll be using Jedi Consular Starfighter until I get Anakin and the Y-Wing unlocked, but for now, I just want to primarily focus on all these things.
Day 4.
Okay, that's good for now. Let's just do a quick battle and see how it goes. So this is the 16th team. I'm at about 100,000 power. That was a weird combo. It was... let's go back. That's a weird combo. A couple of rebel ships plus Tarkin. But he must like the ultimate ability. That's fine. We're going to go with that. 5s, Ahsoka, and Kylo in the starting lineup. And then we have Clone Sergeant and Xanadu Blood as reinforcements. Let's do it. I do not like Boba's ship early game because of his ability that damages everyone's health, ignoring protection, and it can do a lot. So right there, I used Kylo to stun the Ghost, which is primarily what he's going to be there for. He's there to stun if he can and soak up some damage until I can call in a reinforcement. Now, the beauty of Mace's ship, and there's not a lot of beauties about it, is his second ability here will give protection recovery, and they gain taunt and critical hit immunity for 2 turns. 5s is a tank. He's a terrible tank because he can't taunt. That ability, you can. And let's do this. Perfect. Take out Slave 1. Nice ship, Boba. Not crazy about the name. And just start taking these guys out. I probably should have dispelled on that, but that's okay. All right, so now we can bring in Sarge's ship. Sorry I'm blowing through this. I'm in a bit of a hurry, but I definitely wanted to get some battles in. And we'll go with this AoE. Boom. There we go. 30,000 damage from 5s there. Not too shabby. So that puts me at 16th. Let's take a look at where everything is now with the arena report. 11th has 108,000 power. Rebels. 117 Rebels. 113 Rebels with a Y-Wing. Good for them. So, I don't know. I might be able to make top 10. Let's see what the top fleet does. It's Mace with... That's my stuff. Ooh. You go with Biggs? You go with Biggs as a starter. That's not a bad idea because he's a tank. But it doesn't matter. Once I get Y-Wing unlocked, that will get slapped in there and we'll be in good shape. So there we go. That's going to do it for today. We get the fleet up and running. There. Oh, yeah, I saved this was the last little bit of my daily activities because I wanted to do it when we got the fleet up and running. Another Omega. Our prize box. Give us a couple of Chirotech shock prods. Some MK5 Merson, whatever's. 25 crystals, 100,000 credits. Not too shabby. But there we go. That'll do it for fleet. We're all set up and good to go. That'll do it for today's episode, folks. I want to thank everyone who voted for which path to take in my Hyperdrive Bundle series of videos. I'm excited to get this account up and running. It's been a lot of fun the last few days as I've done the fleet squad arena battles, worked on some of these teams, farmed some of these characters, and got this team ready to compete. I'll give frequent updates with this account, showing you where we're at, the progress I've made, do some different types of battles. Maybe if we do assault battles, or maybe I could run some squad arena battles periodically so you can see how the team is changing and evolving and the success that I'm having. I'll, of course, do some Grand Arena Championships battles as well. With the first day of GAC, I went ahead and just plopped down a couple of different teams. I won't air that one since I'm still getting my feet wet with this team, but soon I will have several GAC battles and fights that hopefully will keep you entertained. Thanks again for everyone tuning in. I'm Van Lee, and you can check out all of my information here on Twitter. You can find me at ManlyVanLee. You can shoot me a couple of bucks on Patreon if you like what I'm doing at patreon.com/ButuInc. And of course, you can email me at butuinc@gmail.com. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you next time on Butu Inc. Gaming.
Butu Inc. Gaming. America #1.